Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the West. More specifically, we are in Seattle, Washington, and we are in front of MoPop, the Museum of Pop Culture. This is an amazing collection that they have in here of different pieces from movies, pop culture, especially kind of a heavy theme of science fiction as well running through the Museum of Pop Culture. It's been a while. It's been 4 or 5 years since I've been out here, so I'm curious to see what the new additions are, what the current exhibits are here at the Museum of Pop Culture here in Seattle. So please follow me. All right, we begin our journey here inside of MoPop. Up above the crowd here, we have this big blocky dragon. It's some sort of space police car. First up, heading into the Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame. And here we have Indiana Jones hat. And where's the staff
Fedora.
from? Oh, it's a fedora?
You can't say Indiana Jones hat.
It's not okay
Indiana
to...
Jones fedora.
It's a fedora?
By the greatest man who's ever lived.
Who's the greatest man who ever lived?
Harrison Ford.
All right.
Followed by Jake.
Oh, okay. What's the staff from? This is,
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
okay, the headpiece of the Staff of Ra. We have Stan Lee, a member of the Science Fiction Hall of Fame, and Iron Man's original mask from the first Iron Man movie.
So everything I want to see in the museum is like right at the end.
What, you got Indiana Jones hat?
Yes.
And this is Luke Skywalker's lightsaber and hand. This is the wax hand that was actually used in the film when Darth Vader chops his hand off. And then there is one of the lightsabers. Is that pretty fun, Jen?
A little teary.
Oh, you're getting teared up?
Yeah.
Another member of the Science Fiction Hall of Fame, Mary Shelley, wrote Frankenstein. Frankenstein is considered by many to be the very first science fiction novel. Here's some inductees to the Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame, as well as just some properties and movies themselves. Star Trek was inducted. The Princess Bride was inducted. There's Leonard Nimoy in the Hall of Fame here. And there's this classic Star Trek shirt. The shirts, to me, they always looked so velvety. Like they were extra soft. I was never sure why their shirts looked so soft. I guess maybe it's cold in space and they need the warm shirts. Here we have the suit from Tron. That's pretty amazing. Of course, the suit here just white. I think in the movie they would actually add like bright colors to the suit itself. It's an alien head here from the X-Files. And also they have Mulder and Scully's FBI badges. And there is Billy Mummy's spacesuit from Lost in Space. The actor Billy Mummy also played the little boy in Twilight Zone who could do anything he wanted with his mind and terrorized his family and community. And look at this. This is amazing. The full costume of Dr. Zaius from Planet of the Apes. You can look at the detail there on his hands holding the cane. And his shoes, look at his shoes. I didn't even notice this in the movie. His shoes are actually shaped like monkey feet. And one thing that was interesting here is they have the induction for Rod Serling right here from Twilight Zone. I love Planet of the Apes. I did not know this, that Rod Serling actually wrote the original draft for Planet of the Apes. That's pretty amazing. I did not know that. And here we have Newt from Aliens, the little girl that had to be protected. So this was the actual costume she wore in the film. And then a mannequin life cast from the actress. There's Captain Nemo's jacket from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. We have a prop from The Matrix This is Keanu Reeves, I guess, when he first emerges from the pod after finding out that reality is a simulation. Since he's plugged in him where he was being used as a battery by evil robots. Here is Teddy from the film AI Artificial Intelligence. Came out in 2001, directed by Steven Spielberg. The bear was Haley Joel Osment's friend in the movie. You can see it's animatronic there, has the wires. Yeah, this movie is a really interesting movie. It doesn't get talked about a lot these days, but really weird and pretty interesting. A sword there used in the Lord of the Rings films. Now, no one be mad at me, but I've never been able to finish the Lord of the Rings films. Here's Isaac Asimov's typewriter, which he wrote 500 science fiction books. As we go through here, you can see this towering tornado of guitars, banjos, other musical instruments. Originally, this museum was called the Experience Music Project before the scope was widened, and it became the Museum of Pop Culture. A little closer to the guitar tornado there. Looks like this is some sort of self-playing guitar. It's got like robotics that like play the guitar, I think. I'm just guessing from looking at it. But yeah, all sorts of different guitars here in this swirling tower. And here we have some guitars used by famous musicians, including the custom Buddy Holly guitar right there. This is Dave Grohl's guitar. He was actually from Seattle. Here's the anatomy of the guitar. Shows you how a guitar is put together, how it works. And then here's a guitar that you can jam on. By the way, I don't think this is how you actually play guitar. Now, Jimi Hendrix, he is from Seattle, so he gets his own section here at the museum. Some of Jimi Hendrix's luggage here, as well as his cool velvet shirt. And here we have a guitar Jimi Hendrix smashed to pieces in London, England. Here's another victim of one of Jimi Hendrix's guitar smashings. This was smashed at the Monterey International Pop Music Festival. And here's a guitar that he managed not to smash. He actually played this at Woodstock, which that's pretty cool. So we have some other Seattle musicians. We have Nirvana taking punk to the masses. Here's some of the guitars Nirvana used, as well as this really cool angel mannequin that was, said this was a touring prop. It's also on the cover of one of their albums. And here's some photos that the band would take as they traveled. And little known fact, Kurt Cobain loved to pose with fast food mascots. There he is with Colonel Sanders and Ronald McDonald. Much like Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain also loved smashing guitars. See a smash guitar right there. And there's another smash guitar. Apparently smashing guitars, a long-standing Seattle tradition. There we have Dave Grohl's drum set. I don't know why he kept a blanket inside of his drum. Maybe it's in case he got sleepy while playing. You have a giant music room in here known as the Sky Church. But down here, we have some really cool galleries. The science fiction, fantasy, horror, and music galleries. So sticking with the Seattle music theming here, I guess we're gonna check out the Pearl Jam section up these stairs. All right, entering the Pearl Jam section here. Over here we have some customized Pearl Jam surfboards. Now apparently in Australia, instead of platinum records, they give you platinum surfboards. And there we have lead singer Eddie Vedder, for some reason, in Funko Pop form. And here's another member of Pearl Jam. Judging by the sticks in his hands, I'm gonna guess the drummer. I'm really starting to think my theory is correct. All musicians from Seattle love smashing their guitars. And occasionally, they like smashing a tambourine. They have giant Funko Pops of all the band members. I think the connection is that Funko Pops are made in Everett, Washington, which is about 20 minutes north of Seattle. Some items from the band, another smashed guitar, and a cow that apparently they brought up on stage for some reason. Here is the Funko bass player. Oh, and look up there, we have some sort of demon jack-in-the-box. This statue here is called Mother Love Bone. Here's Eddie Vedder's bat wings. There's some hats worn on stage, as well as some cool masks. You got a devil mask, a lucha mask, and a George W. Bush mask. Okay, I think this Funko is actually Eddie Vedder. He's got the microphone in his hands. He's the singer. So I don't honestly, I'll be honest with you folks, I only know Eddie Vedder. I don't know the names of the other band members or Funko Pops. We are even there is a medical dental mask. That's pretty crazy. And a cheese head. I guess maybe they were they wore that, the Stone Gossard, a member of the band, wore that in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Up here we have some Pearl Jam pinatas hanging there. Imagine smashing one of the members of Pearl Jam open for your birthday. There is a Devo outfit. Apparently they would do some colorful dressing up on stage. Normally I would think of grunge bands as just wearing dirty pants and a flannel shirt, but it looks like they did put some showmanship in. Here's some stage props, the devil's head, a box of poison crayons, and a giant gun. Yeah, a lot of random stuff here in the Pearl Jam exhibit. These weird wind-up monkeys. Now when we entered, we went into the Science Fiction Hall of Fame and saw some artifacts. They still have a whole nother science fiction section in here. There we have Gort. Here are some sci-fi guns. You see some very interesting science fiction designs. You see a space crossbow there. Bunch of old school ray guns and blasters there.
His arms are straight down without the things.
Oh, look at this giant cannon here. And then this weird little gun here. This is actually from Men in Black. It's like I think it like injects this weird serum into you. Here's an exhibit on robot design. Then we have the robot B9 from Lost in Space. We have Bender from Futurama. And up here there is C-3PO. And the little model there of C-3PO is interesting because I don't think he's ever stood like that because his arms are so restricted and held up. I don't think C-3PO is even capable. I don't think he can even move his legs that far apart from each other. And we got Wall-E right there, and then something called the TARS from something called Interstellar, which just looked like 4 blocks. See the different spaceships there. There's the C-57D from Forbidden Planet. Oh, the Enterprise from Star Trek. Then up there, we have the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. This is the Muncher tank from the 1995 movie Josh Kirby Time Warrior. Never heard of the movie, but I do love the giant mouse tank. In this capsule, we have an Acrylian sand beetle from the movie Starship Troopers. Oh, that's creepy. So we got this big globe here that you can actually change what planet it is. What planets are we looking at, Jen?
Pandora.
Oh, you can change it to fictional planets like Pandora?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Pandora?
Yes.
Pandora looks a lot like Earth.
It does. Cybertron.
Cybertron, I think that's where the Transformers are from.
I have no idea what this is.
What's that? Klendathu? That is Klendathu right there.
And
Mondas. Wait a minute, this looks suspiciously like an upside down Earth. History of alien morphology. We've got E.T., He is one of the more friendly aliens that we know about. And then the xenomorph from Alien, one of the least friendly aliens that we know about.
But what about Bob?
Was that Bob?
Yeah.
From Monsters vs. Aliens? I've never...
He's friendly, look at him.
What's Monsters vs. Aliens? There's some models from Dune. There's weapons and ships that would have been used in the movie. This is what they call a Dalek. It is from Doctor Who.
Exterminate.
They say exterminate?
Exterminate.
Are they scary?
Yep.
Because he doesn't look all that scary. He looks really kind of awkward. This is pretty cool. This is an actual ghost trap used in the film Ghostbusters, and then a proton pack from Ghostbusters 2. Okay, this here is General Rothar Saris from the film Galaxy Quest. I've not actually seen Galaxy Quest, but he's a pretty scary looking alien monster. There's another Doctor Who creature. This is Cyberman. And this is an Ovion from Battlestar Galactica. Here's a costume of Beast from the X-Men movies. This one is from X-Men First Class. So I guess Beast, he looks like a scary beast, but I think he's really smart. I think that's his gimmick. Here are miniatures from the film Aliens, the spaceships and the space station there, as well as a flamethrower from Aliens. You can see this endless space tunnel here. This is pretty cool. This spaceship here, used in the 1950s film, The War of the Worlds. These are super cool here. These are guns used in Mars Attacks. There's a stop motion figure of the aliens from Mars Attacks. Now the Star Wars prequels you would think were mostly CGI, but they did build some miniature sets. This is part of the pod racing scene. And this is a puppet used in Phantom Menace. This is a Gorg. I don't remember the Gorg. It's a sort of frog-like creature in the desert. And there is a vertebrae from the Crate Dragon from Star Wars Episode 4. Oh, look at this. Got a little Jawa there. A little Jawa from Star Wars. And there we have Darth Vader. Darth Vader's lightsaber. You excited, Jay? Have you ever seen so many lightsabers in your life?
No, I'm excited.
And then this down here, this is Darth Maul's lightsaber.
Well, there's Darth Vader.
You're more excited about Darth Vader than Darth Maul?
Yes.
Of all the Darths?
All the Darths. I like the
Darth Vader. The best. Darth Maul's still pretty cool. And look who we have here. It's Greedo. Greedo from Star Wars. Did he shoot first? Who knows?
No.
No?
Han shot first.
Han shot first? Okay,
Yes.
good.
It's not who knows. Han.
Han. Okay. Although I'm still trying to figure out how he shot a gun with these giant, weird, long fingers. See the concept art there for Greedo. See, he turned out pretty different from the original concept there. There's actual Greedo, and there's concept Greedo. And here are some Terminator artifacts. There is the Arnie skull there, the robot skull behind Arnie's robot. And then there's the T-1000 head. He could turn into Mercury and reconfigure himself and turn his finger into a long spear, like on that prop. And there is the Arnie Terminator hand there. And here is the full-bodied T-800 endoskeleton from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Pretty terrifying to have just like a robotic skeleton. All right, headed into Scared to Death. The thrill of horror film. Let's head in. Oh, warning, PG-13. Sounds intense. Oh, look at that. It looks like it's almost a giant dragon made out of Hannibal Lecter masks. You can see all these screaming faces as we walk down the stairs. All right, we're gonna start off by heading through this forest of corpses here. Just dangling corpses. And look who we have here. This is the Michael Myers from the Rob Zombie Halloween movie. You can see he's been stabbed quite a few times. Got some bloody overalls there. Some pretty scary creatures in here. This is from Resident Evil Apocalypse. Never seen the movie, but yeah, that's a scary looking feller there. Here we have Jason Voorhees. This outfit was used in the 2009 remake. I've not actually seen that version. This is an alien suit actually used in the very first Alien movie. You can see, oh, that evil, wicked mouth there. There's actually an extra mouth that pops out and surprises you. Here's one of the dresses worn by these zombie dancers in the movie Thriller. Here's some prop zombie heads used in The Walking Dead. It says these were created for the governor's zombie aquarium that he had. Oh, what's going on in here? All these zombies looking at us in the windows. But you can see the zombies' feet down there. Oh, creepy. Oh, what's that? What's that guy in there doing? Oh, he's a zombie and he's playing with a light. He's like, ah, give me the light. You can just stand here and stare uncomfortably at the zombie. Look at the zombie.
He likes you.
Does he? Oh, this is really cool. That's the steering wheel from the Orca, the ship used in the first Jaws movie. And there's a tooth from the animatronic shark. Too bad they didn't leave one of his black eyes, like a doll's eyes. And there is the actual glove from the first Nightmare on Elm Street film worn by Robert Englund. There you can see the face of Sam from the Trick or Treat films. Normally he wears a burlap sack over his head, but here's when he finally pulls the burlap sack off and reveals his creepy true face. There's the actual camcorder used in Blair Witch Project, along with one of the witch's stick figures. There's the face hugger from Alien. If you look, they have to put a mirror there so you can see the bottom of it. Talk about iconic. There is the axe used in The Shining. It's a machete used in Dawn of the Dead, and then the crazy flying ball from Phantasm. It's a strange movie. And there's the puzzle box from Hellraiser. Then we have the Pamela Voorhees heads here from Friday the 13th. You have the remake Pamela Voorhees head from 2009. And over here we have the original Pamela Voorhees head from the 1980s movie. So this is pretty mind-blowing here. This is the switchboard actually used in Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein, the original Universal Monster movies. You can see they're labeled main power, digital disputer there. This is what it takes to create life. Some props from John Carpenter's The Thing. There's a burnt corpse. This is a Leatherface mask. Of course, there's been a bunch of remakes. This is from the 2003 remake. And there's a critter from Critters 2. After Gremlins came out, there was a whole slew of movies where instead of one big monster, there was a bunch of little monsters. There we have the puppets from Puppet Master. Always creepy to be murdered by very tiny puppets. This is the vampire section. You see all these bloody stakes on the wall. So we head into this cathedral here that talks about vampires. You see some of, this is Van Helsing's crossbow that he used to kill vampires. And there's Buffy the Vampire Slayer's stake for killing vampires. And this is a stake gun used in the film Fright Night that came out in 2011. We have a bust of Bram Stoker there. See the blood running down there inside the vampire chapel. There's a television here that says this television was found in the woods outside of Seattle surrounded by a ring of mummified animals and glowing in unearthly static despite the lack of power. Touch the screen at your own risk. So, let's see. Touch it. It's okay. It's a little spongy there. Oh, and look, we got Jigsaw. Jigsaw from his name's not Jigsaw. That's Billy from Jigsaw. Oh, I think that's the elevator from The Shining. All right, next up, going into this section, fantasy, worlds of myth and magic. See this big, giant door. Oh, there we go. And here is the outfit of Buddy the Elf, worn by Will Ferrell in the movie Elf. Smiling is his favorite. This sword here, used by Arnie in Conan the Barbarian. Here's the wizard hat worn by Professor McGonagall in Harry Potter. I got a tunnel in here.
Where does it go?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're not gonna follow Jacob. Jacob, you're on your own. We're gonna take this way. This way you can see the outside of the cave. There's some people, yeah. And oh, look over here.
Oh, hey.
Oh, you made it.
My knees. Oh, you can see this dungeon here. The giant dragon. And look at this, standing on the yellow brick road with the actual costume of the Cowardly Lion. Here's one of the outfits of the Winky Guards. Some various outfits from the Harry Potter films. Here are the weapons from Lord of the Rings. That's the axe. Whose axe is that, Jen?
Gimli.
Gimli's axe. This is the Frodo's sword, and then Aragorn, I think that character is his sword, and then a wizard staff belonging to this guy, Saruman the White. These are items from The Little Mermaid, actually. I think the Broadway version of it. This is Ariel's collection of bottle openers. Here is a White Walker head from Game of Thrones. Remember, back in the day, everyone loved Game of Thrones, and then everyone soured on it real quickly for some reason. I guess technically a fantasy movie, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. This is the helmet worn by the French guard, famously with tap on the top of his helmet like that. Very goofy but fun movie. You can see a giant dragonfly there playing a movie in its eyeballs. Some various props from Harry Potter in here. This is a Death Eater mask right there. Big metal tree right here. They actually have some magic cards here. It's funny, I think I've seen magic cards in about 3 or 4 museums this year alone. I guess they're finally become part of cultural history. They have they show the evolution of cards, the original island, and how they look now, and how the look evolved over time, the different styles of cards over the years. And we have some Dungeons and Dragons here. Now, I never played this myself, but had a lot of friends that were really into Dungeons and Dragons. So thank you for joining me here at the Museum of Pop Culture, also known as MoPop. In my opinion, one of the best places to come just to see movie props, pieces of pop culture. They have the 2 science fiction sections. They have the horror section, just some amazing stuff that just blow you away to see with your own eyes. If you like these videos, please subscribe to let you know when new videos are coming out. I travel around the country filming roadside attractions, museums, haunted houses, amusement parks, and other fun stuff. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider donating to Patreon. $3 or more. We'll get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also selling 5 different styles of enamel pins in the Etsy shop, All that information is in the description of this video, and all that goes to help keep this train on the track, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.